In the name of the Almighty God, the most gracious and most merciful, I send peace and blessings to everyone. Welcome back to our social media platforms and handles of Coach Sebaduka Arafat, where we get financial literacy about financial markets, and we mainly or particularly talk about the cryptocurrency market. So I usually tell you the reason why we talk about the cryptocurrency market, because after realizing that Google boldly said that the decentralized cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin now provide an outlet for personal wealth that is beyond restriction and confiscation. That is why we decided to majorly focus on the cryptocurrency market, because we have the forex market, we have the stocks, but we decided that let us focus on the outlet for personal wealth that is beyond restriction and confiscation. That's something that has not been restricted to everyone. As long as you understand the cryptocurrencies, how they work, how you can invest in them, definitely you are guaranteed of the personal wealth that is beyond restriction and confiscation. So this is where I usually pose a question to many of you, that why is Google so bold? Why is Google having that audacity to say that the decentralized cryptocurrencies are outlets for personal wealth that is beyond restriction and confiscation? Meaning that this is something that has been made research of. There have been many case studies that have yielded in the cryptocurrency markets where people gained and accumulated their fortune, unlike the other markets like the forex market and the stocks. So today in this video, we are going to look at what makes cryptocurrency unique. This is our episode 5, because we started by looking at what is a cryptocurrency. We looked at the first cryptocurrency. How does cryptocurrency work? We looked at the blockchain network, and in our last episode we looked at what is cryptography. So today we want to talk about what makes cryptocurrency unique. What makes this personal outlet that is beyond restriction and confiscation? What makes it unique? This personal outlet, the outlet for personal wealth beyond restriction and confiscation. What makes it unique? They're telling us that cryptocurrencies have impacted various ecosystems by introducing innovative features that distinguish them from traditional protocols and currencies. Some of the unique aspects of cryptocurrencies include, so they're telling us that cryptocurrencies have innovative features that distinguish them from traditional protocols and currencies. Don't forget that cryptocurrencies is money, like the normal money you have, but these are also assets, something that can appreciate in value. That is why Google said that this is an outlet for personal wealth that is beyond restriction and confiscation. Don't forget that formal education, going to schools, college and universities, will make you a living, but the financial education, the financial literacy, where you learn how to make the money, where you learn how to multiply the money, where you learn how to invest the money, and where you learn how to keep the money, this is what is going to give you the fortune, the wealth. That is why you should be subscribed on these social media handles. You should follow us, because this is where you're going to get the financial literacy and financial education that will enable you to excel in one of the outlets of personal wealth that is beyond restriction and confiscation, which is none other than the cryptocurrency. So they've told us that cryptocurrencies are unique from other currencies because, first of all, they're assets, something that can appreciate in value, something that has value. But let us see some of the unique aspects of the cryptocurrencies. They're telling us that the first one is saying decentralization. They're telling us that the cryptocurrencies allow users to have a total control over their assets, meaning that you are the overall in command. No one has control over your assets. If you want to transfer any amount to any person to anywhere, you can easily make that transaction. So they're telling us that their decentralized architecture eliminates the need for a central authority. This allows for greater autonomy as well as vulnerability to manipulation or control by a single entity. We are seeing a form of currency, a form of an asset that in case you wake up one day, in case you decide to transfer your asset from one place to another, from one person to another, you're not going to be restricted. You're not going to be asked questions. You're not going to be asked to sign very many documents on the transfer of money, or if you receive the money, you won't have to over-explain yourself where you have received the money from, what are you going to use the money for, as we see in the banking system. So now with the cryptocurrencies that are decentralized. We are seeing the decentralized architecture which eliminates the need for a central authority. So if you have been wanting to do those bulk transactions, those big transactions, definitely cryptocurrency is the way for you. You want to transact $1,000, $10,000, $1 million US dollars, $10 million US dollars, definitely cryptocurrency is the way. And imagine you'll easily make these transactions as low as $1. It doesn't matter, because cryptocurrencies are borderless. You can send this money to any person in any part of the world as low as $1. So they're telling us that the second one is called transparency and immutability. Immutability is the state of being unchangeable. So they're telling us that the blockchain technology records all transactions on a public, transparent, and tamper-proof ledger. Once a transaction is added to the blockchain, it is virtually impossible to alter or delete it. So we said that blockchain is the fundamental, or is where cryptocurrencies are built. So if you have any cryptocurrency that you have heard of or that you know and it doesn't have the blockchain, that is not a cryptocurrency, because a cryptocurrency is built on the blockchain. So they're telling us that here we are seeing transparency, meaning that everything is going to be done when everyone can easily recognize. So meaning that records can be easily tracked. This is why very many governments, very many institutions are adopting the blockchain technology. Why? That is why we have started seeing that land titles, stocks are being recorded or are being stored on the blockchain, because no one can easily tamper with your land title, as we see in some of the countries which do not have such systems. Land name. So they're telling us that here with transparency and immutability, we are going to see where a transaction is virtually impossible to alter or delete it. And this is going to help the governments, big institutions, and very many other financial institutions, we the people, to avoid or to stop the embezzlement that has been around, because very many people have been misusing, very many people have been stealing the government's money, big institutions' money, people's money with blockchain. Definitely this is going to be erased. So we are saying that the third thing that makes cryptocurrency unique is programmability, that many cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum, abbreviated as ETH, are open source and programmable, allowing developers to deploy smart contracts to create decentralized applications, abbreviated as dApps, and other innovative solutions on top of blockchains. And because permissionless blockchains are open source, anyone can start deploying code on top of a blockchain to create their own dApps or the decentralized applications. So meaning that this is an opportunity for the developers, for people who are good at coding, that definitely you can use these blockchains so that you can create your open source and deploy the smart contract. So they're telling us that borderless, I talked about this, that the cryptocurrencies can be sent and received anywhere in the world, making them ideal for global transactions and remittances. I've told you that these transactions as low as $1. And imagine Binance, if you're sending from one Binance user to another Binance user, definitely we have an option where you can't be charged a single dollar. Definitely you only get that financial education. You'll get only that cryptocurrency information on the social media handles of Coach Sebaduka Arafat. Search for us on all social media handles: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Definitely the thing that you can do to us, and definitely we feel energized, we feel appreciated, is sharing our content, subscribing and liking. Definitely we shall be appreciative, and it will really energize us to continue spreading such knowledge and information. So lastly, they're telling us that the limited supply, many cryptocurrencies have a limited supply. For example, the Bitcoin, I told you this is the first cryptocurrency. In our episode 2, I talked about what is Bitcoin. Definitely search for that video. What is the first cryptocurrency? You need to understand about it, because Bitcoin paved the way for all other cryptocurrencies. So they're telling us that Bitcoin has an issuance rate and a maximum supply of 21 million coins, contributing to its essential as a store of value, because something that is limited in value, definitely when the demand increases, definitely it has to appreciate in value. Imagine the whole world containing of over 8 billion people understanding about the value of cryptocurrency, understanding the value of Bitcoin, when we only have the 21 million, meaning that the 8 billion people have to fight for the 21 million Bitcoins. What do you expect? Definitely it has to appreciate in value. So if I take you to the coin market cap, I want to show you something No wonder the Bitcoin, which was as low as $1 in 2011, ask Google. Today the Bitcoin is worth 81,347. Why has it managed to achieve this milestone in its price? It is because of the limited supply. Because if you come here, they're showing you that the Bitcoin, the maximum supply is 21 million Bitcoin, but the circulating is 19.83. The circulating is the one that is already in possession. So if we have the 21 million Bitcoin minus the one which is in supply, it's 19.83 million, meaning that there is only 1.1 million Bitcoins left. No wonder in the next 10 years you'll find the Bitcoin price over $300,000 because it is limited in supply, and it is limited in supply, and definitely the demand will continue rising, and the more the demand, definitely the price will have to appreciate in value because the supply is limited. It is like with land is limited in supply. No wonder land appreciates in value. So they're telling us that the limited supply helps to prevent the inflation and may lead to increased demand over time. Our paper money, why is facing inflation, or the fiat money? It is because whenever the governments need money, they decide to print the money, and whenever the money increases in circulation or becomes much in circulation, definitely the money has to depreciate in value. The money has to lose the value or has to face what we call the inflation. But they've told us that with the limited supply of the decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, they're going to hope to prevent the inflation and may lead to increased demand over time. So here, this comes to the end of our video where we have been looking at what makes cryptocurrency unique, and definitely in the comment section you can add another thing that makes cryptocurrency unique, because we are here so that we can all learn and understand more about the cryptocurrency. So in our next video we are going to be talking about what is crypto market cap, what is this market capitalization. We are going to look at that and we understand, but you'll only watch that video if you have subscribed to our social media handles of Coach Sebadoka Arafat. So God bless you. See you in the next video.